This is the best starter deck in Marvel Snap. My name is Specimen. I've been playing Marvel Snap for the last 5 months. I stream on Twitch and make Marvel Snap YouTube videos. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on more content. I've also uploaded Spectrum and On Reveal starter decks. Why is this the best of them all? Because most people think it's On Reveal. I'm here to tell you it's not. Because the secret card is the Hulk. Hulk is such a banger of a card. It's got a very complicated ability. You're going to have to bear with me while I explain it. It's 6 energy and it's 12 stats. And that's it. Hulk smash, baby. That's literally it. Why is that good? Well, the reason is, in Marvel Snap, turn 6 is a turn that you don't actually have to play. Let's say neither player snaps. The stake is just 1 cube, okay? On turn 6, that's when the stakes are going to double if you play. So there's never a reason to retreat before turn 6. So if you're in a position where Hulk is not going to be winning you the game, you can just retreat. But there's so many situations you can get yourself in where playing Hulk is a near guaranteed win. And the method for playing Hulk that I like to take is, if I'm winning in 2 locations going into the final turn, I'm going to play Hulk in the 3rd location, the location I'm losing, to try and, get ahead in that. Let's say I'm 11 points down. I'm going to play Hulk in the lane I'm 11 points down, and suddenly I'm winning that lane. I'm winning the other 2. So before I see my opponent's card, I'm winning in all 3 locations. What that means is my opponent, in order to win the game, is going to need to play a card which is putting points into 2 locations. For example, they might play 2 3-cost cards, 1 in each lane. Or they might play a card like Spectrum or White Tiger or Ironheart, which is putting points into 1 lane and then boosting up cards in another lane. However, if your opponent plays their own Hulk, you can never lose in that situation, because if they play Hulk in the same lane you play Hulk in, you're already ahead in the other 2 locations. If they play Hulk in the left lane, you're already winning the other 2, etc, etc, right? So that's why I love Hulk, because on turn 6, the cubes double. That's when the stakes are the highest, and Hulk just gets you so many guaranteed wins where you're confident that you're winning and you're just not taking risks. If you don't feel confident, you can retreat. So what are the other cards in the deck? What synergies have we got in here? We haven't really got that many synergies. We've just gone for pure points. So let's start off with Ant Man. Ant Man is one of the best mid-range cards that you're going to have access to. I've done a beginner starter guide tier list, and you'll see that Ant Man is right up near the top there. Make sure you check that out if you haven't already. It's 4 stats for 1 energy. In Marvel Snap, for every energy, you want to be getting about 2 stats. So 4 stats for 1, banger. We have Hawkeye, 3 stats for 1, also very good early game. This is a card which doesn't see much play later on in the game. Ant-Man does still see a lot of play, but it's just solid. 3 stats for 1, you can't really go wrong. Nightcrawler is a really nice movement tool. Just a really good bit of bamboozling, a little bit of flexibility. Does also have a little bit of synergy with Ironheart, because Ironheart can buff it, and then suddenly you've got a 4 statted card which can move. It also has some nice synergy to look out for with Wolfsbane, because you want to play Wolfsbane as the 4th card in that location, but what that often means is then you're locked into that location. Your opponent knows exactly how many points you have in that location, and then they can just overtake you by a point or 2. However, let's say I have my Hawkeye, my Nightcrawler, my Ant-Man, and then I play my Wolfsbane in that lane. I could move my Nightcrawler out later on and then still play a different card in that location to get more points, while also getting the full 7 points that I can get off of my Wolfsbane. So Nightcrawler, it's just a good card. It's a bit of bamboozling. It's also got a little bit of synergy. The most controversial card in this deck, and the card I would like to remove the most, is Quicksilver. I've included Quicksilver because it's just giving you a card to play every single turn on turn 1. You're going to have a nice mana curve, therefore. You're just playing this card on turn 1 and it's done. The big downside to Quicksilver, though, is the fact that it is actually clogging your hand. Because you're drawing Quicksilver every game, that means that there's 1 less of your other cards which you're going to be drawing. That might mean missing out on Hulk, and that might mean missing out on Iron Man in some situations. You could also play Misty Knight, which is the same stat line as Quicksilver, but is not going to be in your opening hand. I decided in this deck, Quicksilver is just about worth it, but it's absolutely the first card I would be replacing. If you get to pull 1 and start getting cards like Rocket Raccoon or Korg, which are 1-drops, I would just put those in instead of Quicksilver straight away. Medusa, another mid-range card. She is just 4 stats for 2 energy if you play her in the middle lane. Not really much to say about that. It's on curve. Again, probably going to want to replace her relatively soon, but she's a fair card. She's just decent, right? She does the job. Sentinel is one of the best mid-range cards early game. Even though it's playing for below curve, 3 stats for 2 energy. You want to be getting 4 stats, of course, for 2 energy. What Sentinel makes up for is it gives you a much smoother mana curve, because you play your Sentinel and then you have another Sentinel to have in your hand, and therefore on turn 5, for example, if you don't have your Iron Man, you could play Sentinel and Wolfsbane. Just a nice option to have, right? Ironheart is 6 stats for 3, which is on curve, but Ironheart just has the nice ability, again, buffing up your Nightcrawler, buffing up your Iron Man lane, but also for that little bit of bamboozle, being able to put points into a lane which is already full is a really nice thing to be able to do in Marvel Snap, to just solidify that location. Also, you can play Ironheart in the location which you're not going to win, and she's not taking up one of those precious 4 spots. Ironheart's a really, really good card. Mr. Fantastic is the next card in here. Another card which you're going to be wanting to play in the middle location to buff up the other locations by 2. You're putting just stats across the board. 6 stats for 3 energy. It's on curve. Punisher is also playing for the same amount of points. I just think Mr. Fantastic is slightly better on average. It has some synergy with Iron Man as well, because those 2 stats... are going to be helping your Iron Man lane. You're not really going to want to be playing Mr. Fantastic and Iron Man in the same lane if you can help it. You want to have your Mr. Fantastic in a different lane to your Iron Man most of the time. Wolfsbane, as mentioned, little bit of synergy with Nightcrawler. It's in here because it's a good card, like most of them. It's playing for 7 for 3. That is above curve by a point. Very good card. Jessica Jones, JJ. She's 8 stats for 4. Again, remember, the higher up the mana you go, the better it is to play on curve. Like these 1-cost cards, you really want to be getting about 3 stats. These 2-cost cards maybe like 5. But then by the time you're at like this level, like getting 8 stats for 4 is actually just pretty damn good. It's not the most competitive in the game. Like Jessica Jones isn't seeing play in the most top meta decks, but she's really not far off at all. Iron Man, what a card, mate. Just doubling the power. You secure a lane. It's just fantastic. It's probably one of the best starter cards you get, up there with Ant Man. And then Hulk, who I've already talked about. That's the deck. That's the best starter deck in Marvel Snap, in my most humble opinion. This is how I'd play it. Again, Punisher for Mr. Fantastic. Maybe Misty Knight for Quicksilver. Again, as soon as you get to pool 1, you want to start replacing some of these cards with some of the better pool 1 cards. There will be an update to just the mid-range deck with cards like Angela, maybe Bishop. So make sure you subscribe to check out the updated pool 1 version. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay. And that's what Snap does so well. Their games are so bloody short, right? It's never going to be an issue for this game. Okay, so if our opponent has Electra, we're just losing in mid. Moving Nightcrawler early is just a mistake, right? There's no reason to do so. Ooh, Mr. Fantastic, hello. It's just a play, right? Actually, let's play the Nightcrawler first, because we want the Nightcrawler to get the buff. It just gives us more flexibility. This is an example of where Ironheart's really good. I kind of want to play this Mr. Fantastic mid still, right? Yeah, their ordering was wrong here. Bishop missed out on the point. Bit of an awkward spot here, because Danger Room is risky to play into, of course. We could do like this, and then play Mr. Fantastic mid last turn, maybe. I guess we could just still go to the right.
I am Iron Man.
So we lose if they... I guess we just do this, right? We have 4 cards, and we still have 24 stats. The Hulk Iron Man combo is just too strong, man. So we're putting 4 cards into Mojo World, so they need to play 3 cards to win Mojo. Ironheart can buff some stuff, but it's not enough, though. And you can see why this is the best mid-range deck. Like, look at the stats we just amassed on this last turn with Iron Man Hulk. This is insane. And you can see, like, the flexibility Nightcrawler has as well. For sure. When did the game competition restart? Gold or even earlier? Good question. Honestly, hard for me to say. It's gonna really depend, like how much you've been playing. If you've been playing loads, you're gonna like be getting against bots because you also only are getting placed against people with the same collection level as you or similar collection level. Like if you've just started the game, you're not gonna be getting played. You're not gonna be playing against closed beta players that have got full collection, because matchmaking is based on ranking but also collection level. So it's really hard for me to say, honestly. But like the bots, I think the bots, you stop playing against just pure bots around rank 20 or so. But before like rank 15, for example, it's pretty much only bots. But like this is not a bot, pretty sure. I don't know that for certain, but I think it is. So it looks like my opponent's playing a blue Marvel kind of deck. They have Mr. Sinister and Squirrel Girl, so like if they play blue Marvel, obviously they're just going to be buffing up a lot of cards. I quite like the idea of just playing JJ and Atlantis. I'm going to snap, mate, honestly, sod it. That's a really nice play, honestly. Don't really love this play either, because they know exactly how many points they need to beat me. But I'm winning 2 locations and then I can just play something to the right. Ironheart's a really nice find, but kind of just has to be this. We should play on here still. I'm not feeling too confident, but my chances, it's around like 40% you should be like folding here. Yeah, the fact that they play mid and left is pretty worrying. Okay, we still win mid, that's fine. We still win right. Oh, Ironheart buff on the right. Yeah, we lose to that. Oh no, we still win, because Ironheart isn't enough sets to the left. Cool, close game though. If Ironheart RNG was slightly different, Ironheart could have buffed this twice, right, and this once, and I would have lost. But that would have been a Picaro. So it starts at 1, right? Let's say each player snaps, it goes to 4. But also on turn 6, the cubes double. So a lot of the time, like, turn 6 shouldn't be played out. The one player should just concede on turn 6. Let's go Hawkeye Medusa mid. I'm just snapping a lot because I'm just going to be winning most of my games, right? My deck is OP compared to most people's decks. I'd say I think it's the best starter deck. Yeah, that's the thing, right? You can have like locations which are insane RNG in this game, but then that's why there's a retreat button, right? And a snap mechanic kind of allows that like RNG to be part of the game. Am I gonna update channel rewards? Yeah, I definitely should. Oh, TVA, TDA. Kiss that in public. South London's where I made my. South London's where I made my first 100. Sorry, bars. So the game's now ending in Eternal, so that's pretty interesting, isn't it? Mid's already secure. It's just an easy Sentinel Nightcrawler play here. And they go to the left, which I think is a misplay. They should try and distribute their points. So I'm just not caring about trying to win the left lane, right? Just don't bother. Time's up. I just want to distribute my points here. So the most points I think is Ironheart, Quicksilver. Wolfsbane is just like stacking too many points into one lane, right? So let's play it like this. Ironheart before Quicksilver because we want the middle lane to get some more stats. Yep, we just distributed our points very nicely there, right? 10 and 9. We just don't care about them. They've obviously massively overcommitted to the left. And they also had Atua, so maybe if this was in the opening hand, they would have known the game's ending turn 4. Let's go.
Victory.
I love a bit of TVA. It's nice to have so many new players coming into the game, man, because for the last like 5 months it's just been people that have been playing for 5 months, right? Yeah, I created this new account for launch. Yeah. I wanted to do a free-to-play account, but I'm gonna buy the Battle Pass card because I want to build some decks with it. The thing is, if I played these decks, on my main account, I'd be playing against people with all 3 cards, and I just think it's a much better idea to just be playing like against people with all 1 cards, right? Which people I've actually seen before, and they're not just like looking at my videos like, what the hell does this card do? What the hell does this card do, right? Sinister London is one of my favourite locations, maybe my favourite. It's always a spicy one. JJ's not that good with Sinister London because I'm gonna have to play into the location that she's not gone into, right? It's a lot of stats mid, but it's still very winnable for us. So yeah, I don't want to play like into Sinister London this turn really. I think this is the line. I mean, there's actually an argument as well to just play 1 card here. Because then I just play 2 into Sinister next turn. I also want a Wolfsbane into Sinister, so I guess I just play Mr. Fantastic here. And yeah, then I play 2 cards into Sinister next turn, right? Which is then going to fill these 2 gaps. So I actually just don't play either of these here. And I hold on to the Wolfsbane because Wolfsbane into Sinister is just going to be so many stats. Oh, New York Concrete Jungle, I forgot about that too. I think we just don't change anything, we just play it like this.
Opponent snapped.
Oh, yeah. I think we're winning still. If they move anything from mid to left, then we can still win mid. We're actually losing mid by a point as it stands, I think. Maybe Wolfsbane gets completely jacked mid though. I'm not actually 100% sure how this interaction works. Like it goes to 7 and then, yeah, okay, we win mid. That's cracked. Ooh, double Odin is insane though. Double Ironheart buffs. And Gamora goes through. Sheesh. Looks like a loss. Wow, we just got schooled. We got absolutely schooled, mate. Wow. GG. Yo, Ace in Space, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. What a geezer. And also, hello and ATL. Welcome, guys. Love to have you. Feel free to ask questions. Check out the YouTube. Also, there's a Discord, guys. There's a Marvel Snap section in the Discord, which I would love to get popping off with questions. People asking for advice. People asking for deck advice. I'm going to probably expand the Marvel Snap aspect of the Discord soon and have like a few different channels for it. Like deck advice, deck discussion, all those kinds of things. It would be really nice to get a little community going for Marvel Snap in the Discord as well. Be great to have new faces there. Started playing this on my phone last night and I can't put this damn thing down. Yes. Yeah, I can relate. One of my best friends in real life who's never played a card game before has had the same experience. They really do hook the claws into you. Alright, Lechi Gula showing up. So the question is, I want to play Medusa. Is it worth the 2 points to have 3 rocks in my deck? Honestly, no. Especially with Atalan. Like, I'm going to just be drawing so many rocks, bruv. This is really bad for us, like this middle location. Honestly, let's just go for it and just high roll. Because I want to play Mr. Fantastic mid as well. I'm going to have so many rocks. This is definitely a game I am not snapping on. But I'm just going for the high roll approach, which is play the cards where I want and don't draw the rocks. Bar with no name shows up. One of my favourite locations. Whoever has the least power here wins. They just retreat!
victory.
This makes no sense. This is like a rage quit, right? You should never retreat until someone snaps. I would have snapped, in fairness. I was about to snap. How do you know so much already? I've been playing for 5 months. Closed beta started like 5 months ago, mate. So I've been playing for a long time. This is a fresh account though. Actually, yeah, it was closed beta I was playing in, yeah. There was like some closed betas before mine, but mine was like the first publicly closed beta. So weird after months of watching to actually be able to play. Let's go, Owen. The Nexus. So the Nexus, your power here is granted to other locations as well. So obviously we want to get as many stats in here as possible. Mr. Fantastic is a way of getting stats into the Nexus without actually playing a card there. I'm going to snap. I have like a nice hand for it with Jessica Jones and Hulk. So far it looks like a movement deck might be OP. Movement is my favorite pool 1 deck. It doesn't age too well. I actually like it a lot. And since I played like initially, it has like this deck has gotten a lot better. Interestingly, Jessica Jones here is only going to be 4 stats in the right lane because I also want to play Iron Man in the Nexus next turn. So you could actually make a case not to even play JJ here, or just play JJ in a different lane. But like, I just go JJ, Iron Man, Hulk, right? Even though she's only 4 stats, it's still the best play I can make, right? Yeah, you can do movement with pool 1. Yep. Normally you should play Quicksilver in the middle. Nope. I just avoided it Lechi Gula, right? There's not really like a definite place to play Quicksilver. I think you could probably make an argument that you should play it in the location that you know if it's not a bad thing. But there's no definite answer to that. We just win. Yeah, they retreat. This is a good retreat from my opponent. So I snapped early, doubling the cubes. This is now going to turn 6 where the cubes snap again. So you see how it says here, 2, final 4. My opponent retreated because the stakes were getting doubled again, right? So this is just a 2 cube game. If they played their last card and lost, they were going to lose. Because of the net, like as Iron Man and Hulk in Nexus is OP. So this is a good retreat. And yeah, again, I've already recorded the video guide, the guide for this. But as mentioned, like Quicksilver is the most likely card to cut. And I would definitely be playing like some of my pool 1 cards over Quicksilver. It just doesn't... I just am only playing the very starter cards for the video, right? I'm not playing any pool 1 cards. So the question here is if I go Wolfsbane or Ironheart, both are losing a couple of... Ooh, TVA. Damn. Ooh, this is pretty bad for us because like all my stats are just in 1 lane. Having said that, so are theirs. Wolfsbane is just an extra point than Ironheart at this stage. But yeah, like this board state is super bad for us, so I'm almost definitely going to be retreating here. I just don't have like the cards.
Time's up.
Yeah, so like the only logical play here would be this or this, right? I think I'm just losing though. Like they have a Sentinel, which is 3 stats, and they have another like 2-drop maybe. Hey Kuvin, thanks so much for the 4 months. What a guy. How's Enchantress? Mate, Enchantress is a banger. It's a really good, it's like a tech card, right? It's like, they snap, we definitely retreat. We're gone. We do not want, I was probably going to fold anyway.
Escaped.
Just got America Chavez, seems meh. Okay, Zippy, I'm going to let you in a secret. She's one of my favorite cards. I think she's OP. Domino's just as bad as Quicksilver. Yeah, it's the same logic, right? But Quicksilver is like... Domino's worse, right? Because Quicksilver is... Quicksilver is 2 stats for 1 energy. Whereas Domino is 3 stats for 2. The Watcher... Mate, I also think the Watcher is trash. Honestly. It's an interesting card, but it's actually garbage. It's gonna win you some game. It's not gonna win you games. It's gonna give you some knowledge. But the thing is, right? It's like 2 for 1. So the way you need to evaluate cards in Marvel Snap is double their energy, right? But there's a I need to still. I'm coming up with the best way to phrase this. So like Quicksilver is double the energy. So is this a good card? No. Hulk is double the energy. Is that a good card? Yes. So the further, the higher the cost the card gets, the better like being on curve is. The lower the card is, the worse it is. So for like a card to be competitive, like Hawkeye's 3 stats for 1, right? And this is a starter card, right? This is not seeing any competitive play at all at a high level, even though it's triple the energy, right? Similar with Ant Man, it's like 4 stats for 1. Ant Man does see competitive play, but like Hulk does see some competitive play, even though it's like only double, right? So basically, like the higher the energy, the more happy you are for it to be on curve. The lower, the less happy you are. If that makes sense. So like, yeah. Can you show? Yeah, if you click on the battle pass, it says at the top of the battle pass, it says like two months. So, oh god, that's an issue, isn't it? Namor Squirrel Girl. What synergy? I don't have any other 3-drops in my deck, and Ant Man is the same amount of. Okay. Space Throne from Scarlet Witch. So this is one of the very rare times you're going to see more than 1 card in Space Throne. This is actually so filthy, because I can't play any more cards. Wow. So this is just like an easy concede, right? Because I'm losing mid. The thing is, JJ's getting +4 points and they might not realise. So I'm just going to play on for the content. All they need to do is get 5 stats to the right and I lose. Oh no, do we lose to Dino too? This was like an easy concede. I just didn't respect my opponent enough to concede, right? Oh no. I was just like playing on for the potential content, right? I have no regrets.